Hey Oak Hill, it's Miss Glover. I'm here at Edwin Warner Park today and I'm going through the story walk. That's where they take a story, a book, and they put pages on these little stands and you can walk through the trails and read a story. So it's exciting because we're going to get one of these at Oak Hill next year. So I want you to think about some good places where we might put the story walk and send me some emails. And now I'm going to read you the story. It looks like the story for spring is called Two Bluejays by Rockwell. And we're just going to walk down the trail and read this story together. This is going to be so much fun when we get one at school. Here's the first page. Two bluejays sat on a branch of a big fir tree that grows right outside our classroom window. All right, guys, here we go. One flew away, but the other stayed. Soon the one that flew off came back with a seed in its beak. The one that stayed opened its beak, and the other fed it a seed. That bird's very nice to share its food, said Juliana. It has a reason for doing that, said Miss Dana, a good one. The blue jay that found the seed is a male. The other is a female. The male blue jay feeds the female before they build a nest. I really like these pictures, guys. I'm going to zero in on that so you can see that's the male and that's the female. All right, here we go. Both blue jays flew off. When they came back, each bird was carrying a twig in its beak. We watched as the two blue jays flew off and came back and flew off and came back again and again. They were always carrying twigs to put on the branch of a tree. We made a mark on our calendar that day so we'd remember when our two blue jays began to build their nest. Okay, we're still going around the trail. It's so nice being outside today. When it was time to go home, the twigs were starting to look like a nest. By the next morning, one of the blue jays was sitting in it while the other perched on a branch. Male and female blue jays look alike, Miss Dana said. But I think that's the female sitting on the nest. That's where she'll lay some eggs that are inside of her. I bet there's a lot of nests that we could find in this park if we looked. The male blue jay flew off and came back with food. The female opened its mouth and the male fed it again. They did that many times. We made a list of what the male brought back in its beak. Oh, let's see what's on the list, guys. There's a peanut, a caterpillar, a sunflower seed, a grasshopper, an earthworm, a grape, an acorn, and a piece of cookie. I wonder where he found that. All right, here we go. We're going up the trail now. When he wasn't searching for food, the male perched on a branch, looking around with black beady eyes. When a cat came sneaking to the base of the tree, the male blue jay flapped its wings and cried out with a loud, "Jay! Jay!" It squawked so loud the cat ran away. I bet you guys realize that it was protecting the female bird and the nest and the eggs. All right, we're still going up the trail. One morning I came to school early. I saw the female hop onto the edge of the nest. 4 brownish green and speckled eggs were in the nest. They were smaller than chicken eggs. I didn't get to go look at them long since the female quickly hopped back onto the nest. There she drew a picture of what the eggs looked like. All right, still going. Every day we looked out the window trying to see the eggs in the nest, but we couldn't because the female was always sitting there. The mother bird sits on the eggs to keep them warm, Miss Dana said. Why? I asked. Well, because baby blue jays are growing inside those eggs. Wow! And then if I get close up, you can see a picture of what the baby blue jays would look like growing inside the egg. Okay, we're still going. There's a lot of people at the park today. You might want to do that one day while you're at home. Come on over and take a walk. 16 days have passed since our 2 blue jays built a nest. Today, the female hopped out of the nest and onto the branch. We saw 4 baby birds inside the nest. I never saw anything so funny looking, said Abby. She was right. They weren't cute and cuddly like some baby animals are. They had wide open beaks and eyes that were closed. Their grayish pink skin was loose and wrinkled. None of the baby birds had a single feather. I'm going to close up on this guy so you can see. Remember, they were just born, so they don't have feathers, but why do you think their beaks are open? I think they might be hungry. Let's keep walking. Oh, you can see there's other people at the park today too. Everybody's out walking. When the male blue jay came back, it fed one baby something so tiny we couldn't see what it was. Then the female flew off with him and came back to feed them too. Those baby blue jays kept their mouths wide open all day, making little hungry squawks, eating whatever their parents brought them. I wonder what those squawks sound like. You might be able to go online and find a little YouTube story on baby blue jays, and then you could hear what they sound like. Every day, those baby blue jays ate and grew. Their eyes opened into round black beads. Their downy feathers covered their skin, and they began to look more like the 2 big blue jays. You see, they're getting some feathers now. Okay, I feel like we might be getting close to the end of this story. I'm still walking. I'm going downhill now. Three weeks later, they were covered with feathers. They were too big to fit in the nest. The 2 big blue jays hopped and squawked until the baby blue jays hopped onto the branch. It was time for them to try to fly. They didn't even need a single lesson. They just spread their wings and flew down from the tree. They flew pretty well considering they'd never done it before. I love how she drew the birds flying. That is so pretty. All right, let's keep going. I think I hear a train. Did you guys hear that? Yeah, that's a train. The male didn't feed the female anymore. The 2 big blue jays didn't feed the babies either. They didn't need to. Now those baby blue jays could fly off to find insects and seeds and leftover peanuts, along with bits of this and that. So they were learning how to feed themselves now. Okay, let's keep going. Look at that stream. I bet you can hear that. Look how pretty that is. Oh guys, look who came with me today. It's Mabel. Mabel likes to listen to Story Walk too. All right, here's our next page. Soon the nest was just an empty clump of old twigs. The wind blew it off the branch one night. We brought it inside the next day and kept it on the windowsill. It made us remember our 2 blue jays and the eggs the female laid in the nest they built in the big fir tree. Now, whenever I see a blue jay or hear it squawking, "Jay, Jay, Jay," I always wonder if it's ours. Okay, I bet this is the last page, right up here. It is. I know that because it says the end. And there's an author's note that tells us about the blue jays. Blue jays are large, noisy, colorful, and beautiful birds found throughout most of the eastern United States and Canada. They're related to crows and are very intelligent and adaptable. They can imitate the cries of other birds, such as hawks, and are very good at keeping predators away from their nest. Some birds eat worms and insects, others eat nuts, fruits, and seeds. But blue jays eat all of these things. They're the only bird that buries nuts and seeds in the ground to save them for later. Sometimes the nuts or seeds sprout and grow into trees before the birds eat them. So blue jays help keep our forests growing. And then you've got the end. So guys, just remember that we are going to get a story walk at our school, and I want you to send me some emails about where you think would be a good place to put it up. I'll see you soon.